Good morning. Matt Bisogno here from Geegeez, and we've got some changes to the website. All small changes, but hopefully each of them is valuable to at least some of you. So let's go and have a look and see what we've got. So we head over to the race cards where all of this magic happens. Grab my crib sheet. So the first one is we've added a save filters option to the filters section. So up to this point, every day when you apply some filters, say you don't want to view all of the races, let's say I only wanted up to class 5 and only races with 8+ runners. If that was my go-to every day, heretofore I would have had to do that every day, which is a bit of a faff. But now I can click this save filters button, and if I just shut down this window and then reopen it, what we should see is that those filters have hopefully been saved. Otherwise it's not a very good test. And we can see there that we've got 1 to 5 and 8 to 43 runners, which is essentially 8+ runners. So that's a new thing. Obviously if you want to change your settings, you can either do that right in the settings, or you can hit the reset button. Just one thing I want to show you here. If I hit the old F12 key and get this out of the way and click, oops, this is a bit messy. Right, click that button there that was obscured. You can see that we've added the filter block to the mobile view now, and of course you can hide it with the hide button. So what we've got is we've got a situation where your saved settings on desktop can be remembered to your, if you're on the move, they'll be remembered to your mobile view as well. So hopefully that is useful to some of you. So let's get rid of that and let's reset those and save that, and then we're back where we were. Right, what's next? So quite a few kind of small but meaningful to some people changes. So this one is, we've just added the actual race distance to some of these races. So for instance, this market raisin, up to now, we're looking at this top line here, we'd have seen it's market raisin 2 miles 5 furlongs, 21 furlongs, but now you can see that we've got the advertised distance is 2 miles. That 2.5, that 21 we have there is actually 2 miles 4 furlongs, 139 yards. And we can see that on this occasion they were actually running a full 300 yards further, because of the market raisin has 2 configurations, and one of them's the rails are out a lot further. Anyway, the point is that you can see for all of the races any yardage changes. So for instance, this Newcastle race, which was on the all-weather, excuse me, there were no rail movements. It was run over the advertised distance, whereas at Aintree they ran over an additional 51 yards, and at Market Raisin almost a furlong and a half further than advertised. So this was actually a 2 mile 6 furlong race, because of the extra yardage. So you'll see that if you hover over the race conditions. That's the second change we've introduced. The third change is on full form, and it is a UK Ireland filter. So not useful for this particular horse who's only run in the UK, but for instance, if you've got runners that are coming to Cheltenham, you can click the UK button to see what their UK form is. And if we look at a trainer, let's see if we can find a trainer that I know. Let's have a look at Nicky Henderson. So if we go to full form for Break My Soul and then select the trainer option, we can then display his Irish form if we wanted to, like so. So in the last 5 years, Nicky Henderson has run 18 horses in Ireland. 4 of them have won and 3 of them have placed. And he's been good to follow over there. So that's something new, and I think that's quite an interesting addition. Next we've got, this is something that is kind of quite dear to my heart. So quite often if I've got the racing on in the background while I'm working, I will have the day's card in time order. Up to this point, the drop down was not in time order. So if I was in, let's say, the 105 race, and I wanted to just go to the next race, I had to go back to the menu page and then select the next race. But now, from the drop down in any race, I can just, they're in, basically if you've selected time order, the drop down is in time order as well. So that's quite a useful little time saver, I hope, certainly for me anyway. What else have we got? Oh yeah, another good one. In fact, let's look at a race tomorrow in which a Geegeez horse is entered. Razam is that horse, and he what do I want to show here? I want to show a couple of things. Right, so the first thing you might notice here is some little asterisks in the form drop down, and there's one by date, one by race conditions, and one by outcome, and they don't all need to be there. In fact, as you can see for the other races, none of them are there. These asterisks denote a note, that they explicitly tell a user, you or me or whoever, that you have created a note for either the meeting. So the date one is for all races at, in this case, Chelmsford on this day, and I've put speed was holding up, or for all runners in a race if it's under the race conditions, and in this case I've said slowly run race, favoured those on or near the front, or for a specific runner, and in this case I've written about our horse, travelled well off this steady pace but couldn't quicken when the field accelerated, stayed on towards the finish. So that's very helpful. If you keep notes, then you will know instantly that you have a note. You can also see that, I hope, on full form. So if we go to Razam on the full form, you can see those asterisks there as well, just reflecting the same information, and they might even be in Instant Expert also. Let's try there. Yep. So you can see them wherever you're looking at the form. Basically, you can see your notes, and you have this little this little asterisk to tell you that there is a note. I want to look at the race where I put those notes in. So just in case you're not clear about how you do that, it's under the ratings. It's actually notes and ratings would be a better description. So you can see I've added a meeting note here, a race note here, and a runner note for Razam here, also for Love de Vega. And I've put my ratings in as well. I've just basically rated the winner and then put press the calculate button, and it auto calculates all the other runners in the race. So that's how you do that. There's lots more information on ratings in the user guide, so do have a look at that if you haven't, and if you're interested in that. The other thing that I wanted to point out on the result, which I think is kind of really a useful piece of information, and this is quite a good example race for that. We've added a run style column to the result, so you can see, for instance, in this race, just echoing what I said about the fact that the front end was favoured, you can see that the two horses that led or shared the lead finished first and second, and those who were racing behind the leaders and in front of the held up horses, midfield essentially, filled out the middle positions, and the two horses that were held up didn't land a blow. So this was a very pace pace dominated race, and it's very useful to be able to see this kind of thing when you're looking at a result. So you can kind of maybe even discount the performance of the horses who never had a chance to show their best, and you can perhaps mark down a little bit the performance of those horses that were definitely favoured by the run of the race. So it's kind of a useful bit of information, and you can see that the horses that kind of led this night were typically doing very well. Not in every case, but if you'd identified the leaders early and backed them, you'd have made a few quid anyway. So I think that's a really useful piece of information, adding run style to the full result. But wait, there's more. Actually, there isn't much more. The only other thing that we've done, and which kind of became a real irritation to me in the last few days, when we had a lot of abandonments, on Tracker, the non-runners were getting removed, but runners in abandoned races were not getting removed. So we've now tidied that up. So if you're looking at your Tracker, all of that redundant flotsam has been eradicated, and you've just got your view of the juice in the Tracker. And that's all of it. So quick run through. Save filters on the Racecard menu page, so you only have to select them once, and if that's what you look at, if that's the subset of races you look at every day, they'll be there. We've added the actual distance, so you can see the yardage if you hover over a previous result. We've added a UK Ireland form filter on full form. You've got the drop down list is by time if you've selected the by time view of the Racecard menu, so you can easily navigate between races in time order. We've added run style to the full result, and we've removed non-runners from the Tracker, and we've asterisked my notes feature so that you can see when you've put a note. And that is all of it. So hopefully some of those, maybe all of them, maybe none of them, will be some use to you. We've got bigger things planned in the pipeline that we've started working on, but I just wanted to get some small but useful featurettes out early in the new year, and we've done that today. If you find any little bugs or issues with it, do let us know, but I think we're in good shape. And yeah, hope you like them. Bye for now.